Hey, how's it going, Transformdom? This is Ben here in China, and today we're going to do the unboxing and product review of Takara Tomy's MP-36 Destron Leader Megatron. Whoa. And I'm so excited to get this guy open. Finally, after many years, we get an official representation of Megatron in the MP10 scale. And before we get started, I'll just like to let you guys know I got this guy from Toy Kingdom in Macau for $12.99 MOPS, which is equivalent to about 162 US dollars. So let's get down to some box comparisons, shall we? Here we have MP-36 with an official Takara Tomy cardboard box, and you can see that the MP-36 box is taller, wider, and thicker. This guy, this MP-36 Megatron, the box is just about as big as your official MP-22 Ultra Magnus box. Alright, so if you have one of those, you know the size of this guy. But it is a little smaller than the official MP-10 box. Okay, so let's take a look at the packaging now. At the top right, you get your usual Takara Tomy logo, Transformers written in Decepticon colors. You got the product image of Megatron in his menacing self, right there, asking you or grabbing something like, all right, and you got the pistol mode. At the bottom left, you got the Decepticon logo, MP-36 Destron Leader Megatron. And on the bottom right, you get something new that is on Masterpiece boxes, the Lifelong Design Award, which was granted to Takara Tomy for their excellence in designing these Masterpiece toys. Okay, so at the side you get Transformers and the words printed out like we normally would. At the top you get Megatron with his laser dagger that you see in the movies, and at the bottom you get some warning and a stamp, some QR code, and some recycling thingamajigs, and the contents of the product at here. Okay, so this guy's made in Vietnam. All right, and at the back you get the actual size of Megatron, which is 240 millimeters, and this is the, I guess, bio of Megatron. You got Megatron with all the accessories, back to Sigma, and you got him in his damaged look in the movie, and there's some mind controlling gimmick, alternate faces at the bottom, gun mode, and some other product shots of Megatron. So let's get this guy open. Right. Da, 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 da. Whoa, okay. I hope the sound is working. And we've got the instruction manual with the collector card and something else. I think about this is the process they went through in designing Megatron. So there we go. Let's put that aside. Da, 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 da. And we have the guy. All right, let's get this guy open, shall we? There you go. Top clamshell out, and we got his fusion cannon. We've got Megatron. Okay, put him to the side. All right, so let's look at his accessories. Screaming face, smiling face, damaged face plate, dagger, key, everything is in here. All right, so let me clear up the space and we will come back to this guy. Here's Megatron with all his accessories laid out in front of the camera. And wow, I'm super excited to show you the poses that Megatron can do and compare it with all the cartoons and when he used these accessories. All right, so let's take a closer look at this guy right here. Okay, so you know, right off the bat, when I got this guy out, when I unpackaged and laid out all his accessories in front of me, I took a good look at this fella. And you know, I mean, the paint job isn't all that perfect. I have a small blemish here right up from the box, and then there's some imperfection at the crown of the head. Let's see, there is some paint imperfection here. So this part is painted, but this is molded black, so that's cool. I like it, you know, when it's molded in the color that it's supposed to be. The feet are die cast. There's a bit of paint blemishes here, and a die cast over here. This die cast certainly feels very different than the die cast in the rest of his body. Some more paint blemishes here, just a lot of paint blemishes. You know, there's some scraping over here, you can see the scrape, and this part is molded black, and some, you know, paint imperfections here, some paint blemishes here. This is painted, I don't know why. I mean, it should have just been molded black. This is also painted, and it has a bit of blemish over here. This arms is plastic, yeah, is painted. Everything here is painted dull gray. I wish they didn't paint it, you know, just molded it dull gray. This here sounds metallic, but it's made of a different type of die cast composition compared to the die cast on the feet. Back here, if you move the backpack up, there's some bits of die cast that is like the die cast in the barrel, so it's not there. Oh, this is the trigger. Okay, yeah, but that's about it. The whole figure here is painted kind of like a metallic dull gray. It's hard to describe metallic and dull at the same time, but yeah, they're trying to give it that cartoon look that just seems to pop up right from the TV. But I just wish that they just kept it unpainted and just molded it gray, and because of that we get a lot of this paint chipping and all that stuff. You know, I'm not a big fan of that, unless they can really do a good job in keeping the paint intact, which means more money, you know. But for Megatron, I think that should have happened, you know. But man, does he look super good. But anyway, let's just get down to some product comparisons, shall we? Here's Megatron with X-Transbot's Willy from the front, the side, and the back. Here's Megatron with Hot Rod from the front, and the side, and the back. Here's Megatron with his nemesis, arch rival, MP-10 Optimus Prime. This is what we've all been waiting for. OMG, fantastic that we get these two guys together. But you know, when I put Megatron right next to Optimus Prime right here, I've already started complaining a little bit about Optimus Prime and how dated this figure looks. Yes, he looks great, he looks awesome. I just love the transformation. I just transformed this guy from the truck mode to the bot mode. But you know, when you just look at Optimus Prime on his own, I mean, the arms are too long, you got this paint here, and you got this paint on the shins, and you got this gray plastic, and this hips here is just incorrect when you compare it to the cartoon. And there's a lot of panel linings and design, you know. It looks quite busy. Yes, I know there's lots of folks out there that love the busy design and the modern aesthetics to it, but you know, I like my toys to look like they just came out from the cartoon. So the minimization of the panel linings and all this detailing work, you know, and like rivets here, yes, they look nice, but I do get a feeling that when you put it side by side with Megatron. These two figures, you know, one is really like the cartoon and the other one is just a modern representation of Optimus Prime. And nothing wrong with that. It's just that, you know, everyone's got choices these days with third parties and all that stuff. And so I would like an updated Optimus Prime. I don't know, that's just me. What do you guys think? Do you want an updated Optimus Prime? You know, I mean, I would like to have one. But anyway, so let's take a look from the side view and the back view. Yes, Optimus Prime's back still cleans up very nicely. I do wish that we could, the new Optimus Prime at least, will allow us to push these wheels into the cavities in the legs here, right? So Takara, you know, give us a new Optimus Prime, please. Here's Megatron with the Fans Toys reflectors from the front, the side, and the back. And here's Megatron with his Seeker Squadron and a comparison here with Starscream. Yes, Megatron is tall and imposing and that's the way he should be. And Starscream is just, oh, treacherous. But here's the comparison now to the side and the back. Okay, now just like to let you guys know that my Soundwave and Shockwave is back home, so I don't have him here with me, but you know, you guys get the idea. I'm sure you can see other reviewers and other product comparison shots that's out there. Before we take a look at Megatron doing his action poses and a closer look at all his accessories, let's just take this in. Take all this in. Wow, Megatron with his Seeker Squadron, all of them ready to take on the Autobots. Wow, I mean, oh, wow. And next month we'll get Dirge. That's simply amazing. I am so psyched about that. All right, so let's get moving. Let's take a look at Megatron with his accessories. Here's Megatron trying to do the two-handed ninja sword swing, and this pose is supposed to articulate the butterfly joints, and Megatron has those butterfly joints. So I'm scared of chipping paint on this guy, So I'm gonna try to swing his arm down slowly. Yeah, that works. That works. There's ratcheted joints, and he does a beautiful ninja two-handed sword swing. Yeah, that's pretty good. Here's Megatron doing the Iron Man 3-point landing. So this action pose is supposed to demonstrate the general agility of this figure. And throughout this figure, you can see that Megatron can do over a 90-degree bend at the hips, a 90-degree bend at the knees, and the hands are long enough to reach the ground with the aid of an ab crunch, which he has, and supposed to articulate the head, and the head can look upward a little bit, and Megatron can certainly do that. Here's Megatron getting punched real hard in the abs action pose, and this pose is supposed to articulate the ab crunch, which Megatron has a fantastic one at that, and head articulation as well. And you can tilt his head down to look down a lot more if you would just move his head out from this locked area here. Yeah, and that should give Megatron a lot more downward look head movement, and plus the ab crunch, and the fact that he comes with this flight stand that gives Megatron a real good look that he got punched real hard and he's flying so far away, you know, boom. Here's my weak attempt to try to get Megatron to do the running man pose. As you can see, the back leg is touching the ground, okay? And that is because it is really hard to balance all this heavy die cast that Megatron has on the knees, right? I mean, I can, if I grab hold of his legs, his foot here, I can get Megatron to balance, but the ratchets on the ankles here makes it very hard. Now he's more like running like super fast Flash. And here's Megatron in his glorious gun mode. No, I'm joking. This isn't Megatron in the gun mode. This is Mini Megatron from Kids Logic. Now the real reason is I don't really feel like transforming this guy. No, I don't. I read online that there were people complaining about paint chipping, and retailers warning their customers about transforming this guy, and common occurrence of the paint chipping off. That's just taking the fun out of it, detracting me from doing my kamikaze transformation challenge. So I'm not in the mood to transform him. I'm really not. When I first got Apollyon, I didn't transform him right away. I mean, I just looked at it, admired it. Back then, it was like, wow, what a Megatron we had, And then I transformed him a few days later, got stuck in one of the parts. I think it was the handle, right? And then I left it alone, and the next day I came back and I continued to transform him, and then transform him back, and then just left it there. And I sold him off after a couple of months. For MP5, I transformed him after a few days of getting him, and I just transformed him into a gun, and that's it. I left it as a gun. Well, I will eventually transform this guy, do the kamikaze transformation, but not right now. Just gonna take all his glorious bot mode in, play around with him for a few days, and then possibly do the kamikaze transformation challenge. Let's take a cute look at this mini Megatron. So you have some head-to-head turns, the hand goes up and down, no sound effects, leg turns right and left, and no back cable. And he's painted in his glorious silver that has absolutely no paint chipping at all. Oh, and parts do come off and pop back on rather quickly. There you go. Okay. So what are my thoughts on Megatron? Well, he is a marvelous figure. So let me point out three things that I like about this guy. The first thing is the general aesthetics of this toy. It really does look like it just popped out from the cartoon. I mean, look at that. The color choice, the proportions. Yes, it's a little bit weird like this to some people, but it is really cartoon accurate. I mean, there's no complaints about that. The way the legs look, it really does look like the cartoon. I mean, no other third-party offerings is anything quite like this Megatron. The second thing I like about this guy is the engineering. The engineering is absolutely marvelous. I mean, it's really good. The way that the chest here transforms into the gun, and especially how the legs transforms into the gun, it is totally a new approach in how Megatron is designed. The other third-party offerings just kind of took the toy design and make upgrades to it, but this is completely a new type of design. The third thing I like about this toy is the options that we have. I mean, we've got face plates and chest plates that's molded in a way that really induces that battle damage look. I mean, it's molded. The face plate, the chest plate here is uneven. So is the face plate. I mean, this is molded details, not painted details. And the accessories here, I mean, golly, there's a lot of options here, you know? I mean, that's quite amazing. But with all this marvelous engineering, it came at a cost, you know? And so let me talk about the three things that I think that could have been better about this guy. Well, the first thing, and the most obviously protruding and disturbingly fact that Takara has been doing is that they've been making some marvelous, wonderful toys like Inferno or Shockwave. They all look really, really good, just like it popped out from the cartoon. But there are other toys that they've made that just fell short of that mark, like Ironhide and Ratchet, you know? And this guy is this back kibble. I mean, come on, if you lift up this back kibble, let's just lift it up here. What do you see? A very nice back, a clean back. I mean, you got this trigger that can be absolutely hidden, right? But this back kibble here, this part, if they would have taken some of the cues from Bad Cube, now I know I'm talking about Bad Cube, and Bad Cube has this very complex engineering, but if you look at Bad Cube's engineering, they would have done something differently about this guy. They would have allowed us to fold this kibble onto another part of Megatron that has lots of holes, this part, right? I mean, and then this part, bottom part here will be flushed on the shoulders. I mean, couldn't they have done something like that? I mean, you could have complained to me and say that, well, if I flip this open and and clip it onto the shoulders, the Decepticon logos would be shown up. But no, if you take Bad Cube's approach to engineering, they would have done something that you can flip up and twist the back plate so that the back side is exposed instead of this front side, and clip onto the shoulders. And then the barrel here will have some, you know, maybe longer die cast that can, you know, probably move towards the back and then adjust itself to the back. They could have done this back couple a lot better, in my opinion. And so now we're just gonna have to wait for some third-party guy or some guy to make us a clip-on that can clip onto this backside and hide this ugly-looking kibble. The second thing I don't like about this guy is that why does he have to be painted? I know that some people will appreciate painted figures, and that will give the figures that masterpiece look. And that having a painted figure will hide away some of the sprue marks. Yes, I get that. But then you are sacrificing all that, giving us figures that has a lot of paint chipping. And now if Takara needed to paint their figures, they need to cure the paint job. I mean, and let the paint settle in and then apply another coating, which means they have to engineer the figures in a way where it allows some degree of tolerances in terms of gaps issues between transformation panel parts, okay, so that we would not have any friction between panels. And the third thing that Takara could have done better with this figure is, I mean, the amount of funny holes all over the figure, like the holes down here. I mean, this is a masterpiece figure, guys. And why are they trying to save plastic parts by having molded pieces that has a lot of holes? And then if you look through here, there's some more holes, right? If you look through here, there's some holes, right? You can even see through the hands. And if you look through here, there's some more holes. There's holes everywhere in this figure. There's holes everywhere in this figure. So what's up with that? With all that is said and done, what do I think about this guy? Would I recommend him? Indeed, I would, especially if you have not bought any of the third-party offerings. Now, personally, I have owned Apollyon in the past, but I have sold him in about after 2 or 3 months of ownership. And that's because, to me, he did not look the part. But this guy absolutely does. Now, I cannot say the same for DX9's Megatron or Maketoy's Daspotron because I've never seen them in person or played with them, much less to that. So, but I did not buy them, man. The reason is because they don't look the part. This was even before the reveal of Takara's Megatron. And if you don't look the part, if the figures does not pass my own personal litmus test, I ain't gonna get it, no matter how cheap it may be, right? Because I want my definitive version of my Transformers G1 cartoons. And so this guy definitely has that role nailed down to the teeth. Okay, yes, there's problems with it, I've said that before, but that does not take it away of how brilliant this character is. So that is what I have to say about this guy, this Megatron. And if you liked this video, please leave a comment in the section below. Please share it, like it, subscribe to my channel. And this is Ben here in China, wishing you well and all the best. And I'll see you on the flip side.